We're gonna go this way.
Okay.
New work cell.
New what?
Work cell.
Work cell?
A cell. Hey, you're not familiar with what a cell is?
No.
A cell is like a series of machines that accomplishes a task.
Okay.
It's like a little grouping of stuff. Well, actually, sometimes it's a single machine. These guys rip chop, because we gotta processing the block. Okay, let me explain the problem. Once again, Matt, you are confused.
All the time.
All the time. So this is our chop station.
Yes.
So first you go rip, that's cutting with the grain.
Yeah.
Then you gotta cut it to length, which is chop. There's two kinds of waste that are generated. Rippings, when the board is ripped, the side of the board, it's too thin.
Yeah.
That's a ripping.
They're useless.
The rippings are useless, right? You cannot really do anything with the rippings. These get ground up into pellets. Yeah, it gets sold to a pellet mill. Then there's the other type of waste, which is block waste. So this is waste off of the chop.
Yep.
This we can reprocess into finger jointed material.
Oh, look at that little tiny dumpster.
That's cute.
It's adorable.
Look at this. Look.
Yeah?
Yeah, but look, it's a splitter. Okay.
It's ripping it again?
All right. Yes. See, this guy's good. I'm gonna go get a piece of finger jointed material so you can understand what it's turning into.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get that. The thing you have to understand about our finger jointer is our finger jointer needs a consistent width. Now, our rip saw is sometimes cutting a fixed width, meaning every board that's coming out is the same width, and then it runs random width. Random width will get you the most yield out of your board.
Right.
Because you'll just get kind of as wide as possible. But once you chop the random width, now all the blocks are different widths and the finger jointer needs one width.
Yep.
That's what this is about.
Okay.
Hunter and Mike have been working on this block processing cell. Because right now, Ty at the finger jointer has been doing a lot of like post-processing. It's slowing him down. So we want to give Ty at the finger jointer the best possible material so he can go as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Mike, why don't you just talk through all this.
So,
yeah,
we needed to build an SLR.
SLR, what does that
Straight
stand?
line ripping machine.
Got it.
We also wanted to make this cell efficient. Typically, with an SLR, you have two operators, one on the in-feed, one on the out-feed. Unfortunately, we don't have the staffing to do that right now, and it's not efficient. So we came up with this design. We had this feeder sitting in the back of the shop on a machine that didn't work for us. So we kind of took it off and we retrofitted it to our old table saw that came from the very first shop.
Oh, okay.
We saved ourselves about $20,000 here.
Nice.
To make things even better, we're like, so how do we do this with one operator?
A box.
Little box back here. So we're using two. These are called Gaylords. I didn't name that. So these are called Gaylords.
They are called Gaylords.
Why?
I don't know why they're, because they're
called.
freaking gay. I don't know. Yeah, and get a shot here.
I just shut the blade off.
Yeah, come over here. The feed rollers, they fully support the cut near the saw blade, so it's extremely safe. You put it in, it's gonna pull it through, and it just pulls it through.
Yeah, because it's not a very long piece.
Exactly, because you're dealing with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're dealing with stubby little blocks, there's always the possibility, well, it's dangerous and it's difficult. If you come over here, you can actually see, so what is the minimum length? The minimum length, I don't know, what is the minimum length? Do we know? 8 inches?
Oh, 8? Yep.
That's what she said.
Yep. Well, it's got to have full support between two rollers.
So great.
Because that's the minimum with the finger jointer too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're pretty close.
The finger jointer just can't handle anything shorter than 8 inches?
They are like falling between the transfer tables and stuff, so we can't get too short. It actually works out pretty perfectly.
There are 4 major widths that we run.
Yeah.
What are those, Ian?
For the fixed, it's 4.7, 3.75, 3, and 2.
And those are certain table parts that we just run a lot of. So what are those table parts?
It's the rails, the arm rests, the legs. 2 is actually not a table part. It is a sort of placeholder size that we inserted to increase our yield.
Got it. This is what we're dealing with. Look at this. Right?
Beautiful random widths.
This is random width. These all need to be the same width for our finger jointer to run it. How are we setting the the widths on this machine?
So right now we're setting it just like a typical cable saw by adjusting the fence.
Yep.
And right now we're set for 2 inches.
And so if they want to change it right now, it's a manual change.
Yep, a manual change here, but everything else stays set up. That rift knife is in line with the blade, so that will never move.
Do we have to move the power feeder?
We don't.
Okay.
It's right over the blade.
So if you do a what's the widest we do is fixed? So set it. I want to see a 4.7.
Actually, that's probably a 4.7.
Oh. So yeah. Actually, that would miss it. But yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know. What are you thinking? Would that be necessary? I mean,
No, I think it's actually fine because like with the nature of a power feeder, the way you organize it is it's angled in towards the fence. Oh. Yeah, you don't actually want a power feeder pushing straight because it could drift off the fence a little bit, and then you're not going to get a straight cut.
Right.
So what you actually do is it's actually pushing it this way. So it's always driving it into the fence.
You also want the wheels to stay on both the good piece and then your scrap piece coming
the
off.
waste.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you either bring this all the way over to the fence, you're going to be completely just on the good piece, and you're not going to feed out the scrap.
Kickback, #1 cause of injury on table saws.
Yeah,
That's
which is
what
why even with a setup like this, which is very safe because it's power fed and it's constant contact, very tight to the blade, you still actually load it over here. Because if anything were to malfunction and go wrong, this piece is going to fly out right along the fence where it is. So you actually never load a table saw no matter what here, because if anything happens to malfunction or go wrong, you're going to get clobbered.
I don't think an operator, even your best operator, could go through as much board as what this can in a safe manner.
Oh yeah.
No way.
There's no way.
This seems pretty perfect. Did you talk about the riving, the extended riving knife yet?
We didn't get there yet.
All right, I apologize.
What is that?
So what a riving knife is, here we go. So this is a riving knife that goes on a table saw.
Okay.
And so if you have a blade that's here, the riving knife is behind the blade.
Yeah.
And what a riving knife does is the space that a saw blade cuts away is called the kerf.
Yep.
Okay? So as the board's going in, you're removing a bunch of material, and what can happen is the board, as it's cutting apart, can actually pinch. And it can pinch behind the blade where you've already cut.
Yep.
If that happens and you get pressure, it can cause major kickback. So a riving knife goes behind the blade to prevent, if the board does pinch together, it won't pinch the blade.
Yep.
It'll pinch the riving knife.
Okay.
That's what a riving knife is. Go ahead.
Our riving knife is back here. So this riving knife is keeping us from pinching back together, and it's also working as a splitter between our good piece and our scrap piece, which allows them to come back to this diverter and then load them into our gaylords for what's good to be reprocessed and what goes into the garbage as scrap.
So a riving knife doesn't technically have to be exactly that. It's just anything that...
Well,
Go ahead.
The closer the better. So the problem with this one, this is the factory one, it's too tall, it interferes with the wheels, with the feed.
Okay.
So that's why he put one behind.
So then it just splits off what we want and then what we don't.
Yep.
Got it.
I don't know, this seems really
Pretty
nice.
good for processing. So the thing that Zach Hunter and I just talked about this morning is the last big time sink for this process is right now, like Doug said, all this is random. We're dumping into one bin, so you can't be changing what you're cutting. We have to do all the 2s, and then we do all the 3s, and then we do all of each size. Someone still needs to sort all this before we come to the saw.
Yeah, you were doing that a few
I remember
weeks
I was
ago.
doing that. Remember
Yeah.
how much fun I was having? Not everyone will have as much fun as I was having for as long as they'll have to do it.
Sure.
We're gonna try to get it sorted before it comes here.
Yeah.
Over here at the shop where we're touching it already.
Sure.
So hopefully Monday, I got some more of those boxes. They should be in Monday. And then once we love it, Mike got a source for plastic, more permanent ones if we actually love it. We're gonna play test everything with cardboard.
Okay. I don't know, this is all really good.
You want to see it operate?
Yeah, let's do it.
Pretty exciting, huh?
I just love how Doug is so into it. Yeah, you guys are all really excited about this. It's cute. It's cute.
You got to enjoy your work, Matt. You have to enjoy your work.
Everyone's watching to see what you do. Everyone's looking at you.
Cool.
Simple, stupid.
Yep, that's us.
Stupid.